Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be going through all of the changes within Rainbow Six Siege Operation Shadow Legacy. I am so hyped, I can't wait to walk through everything that you need to expect before you jump into the new season. So the first thing which we all love to see and wait for is the new seasonal charms. So here on screen are the new charms for the next season. They look so good and I can't wait. So the next thing I want to talk about is pretty much the stuff you already know. Later in the video I am going to go through stuff that you are not going to know until people start figuring it out. But yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is the reinforcement pool. So basically there are no longer 2 reinforcements assigned to 2 defenders. That is no longer a thing. There is now a pool where there are 10 reinforcements that is shared across all 5 defenders. So if you really wanted to, one defender could reinforce all 10. You could have 2 defenders reinforce 5 stuff and the last 3 do nothing. But now the reinforcements are shared across everyone. The next thing I want to talk about is the Thatcher EMP rework. Thatcher EMP will no longer destroy anything. It can only disable stuff from now on. So Legion goo mines, bandit batteries, they will now just be disabled. Nothing can get destroyed by Thatcher. If you try to pick up the bandit battery and put it back down, it still will be disabled. So there is a time on when you can do the stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is the new secondary gadget. There is now a new hard breach device that do come equipped with some operators. I believe on the top of my head, Amaru, Knock, Thinker, Capital. I know those lot have it. There's more, I believe. But yeah, you can see on the gameplay how it works, but there is now a new secondary gadget. The next thing I want to talk about is match replay. Within Operation Shadow Legacy, you are going to be able to access match replay. So if you ever just wonder how the hell Bandit got there, you are now going to find out how the hell Bandit got there. So, 'tis going to be good. The next one I want to talk about is the new colored sights. You now have a variety of sights that you can choose from. These are all the colors you can choose from. There is a lot of variety. However, you can also change. However, that's the wrong English. Hello? What I'm trying to say is there is also an opacity setting. I cannot speak English, Jesus. There is a color setting and a opacity. The lowest opacity you can turn it down to though is 20. You can't set it to 0. That's not possible. The lowest you can go is 20, and obviously I will show some examples on what they look like. The next thing I want to talk about is map bans. So when you go into your unranked or ranked matches, there will now be 3 maps that will show up and you can ban one, the enemy team will ban one, and whichever is remaining is the one you are going to play. And the next one is obviously the map Chalet. So in Operation Shadow Legacy, be wary, the new rework is going to be Chalet. Obviously some gameplay. I will have a video later down the line which will actually go through the Chalet bit by bit. But this is more of a summary and what to expect. So Chalet, of course, and then the next thing is obviously the new attacker Drevo, which is absolutely insane. You guys are going to want to get your hands on him ASAP. I'm not just saying this because it's a new attacker, but I honestly think I'm going to main him. I think Drevo is going to be my new main attacker. Okay, moving on to the more secret changes. Not so secret, you'll probably notice it straight away, but there is now a bomb canister model change. So now it's more like a block rather than this weird design. You can no longer now do pixel peeking like when you go prone. It's literally a block, so you can hide behind it as cover, but you also cannot do some weird pixel picking. So something very small but also very, very good. Something that also came alongside the new color sights is being able to change your sensitivity per zoom level. So there are new optics which I'll go into later, but you can change your ADS sense per zoom level, so that's going to be fun to mess around with. For the next one, we have the fact that you can no longer one melee vault doors or window. So you can no longer, well, the single barricades and the single windows, you can no longer just melee it once and vault. However, you can still melee it twice and crouch walk through. But from now on, you can no longer one hit melee and vault a window. However, when it does come to doorways, you are still able to crouch walk through, but the windows will not work the same way. The next change is Villa. Villa got some new lighting, so Villa is going to look very different when you hop into Operation Shadow Legacy. The lighting's changed and some new stuff has been changed in there. The first thing you're going to notice is the lighting. So here is how it looks and yada yada yada. The next one is the Maverick buff. There is now a new Maverick buff where basically he now has 6 bars of fuel for his blowtorch. He used to have 5, he now has 6. So he is pretty much guaranteed to be able to open 2 hatches. Guaranteed, at least. So yeah, a Maverick buff. They're really going overboard with the hard breaching, so yada yada yada. The next one is the fact that the kill feed and the points and just the text font has changed, so the HUD is now a little bit cleaner within the new season. So just, you know, keeping up with the HUD, keeping it all nice and clean. I like it, I like it. The next thing I want to talk about before we get into the big thing is that there is a blog post where they also talk about the sound rework. So they said within season 3 they are wanting to do a sound rework and change the way that the sound works. Pretty much it's very in-depth, which I can maybe do in a separate video. This is more of a summary video, but just expect some sort of sound changes to come to season 3 when you get your hands on the new season. Now, either for the final thing, I'm gonna change it into a different segment where it's all the new sites. So we now have a 1.5 times, a 2 times, a 2.5 times, which is the ACOG, and the 3 times. The 3 times you're gonna find on most DMRs or all DMRs, and the ACOG has been removed from like 80% of the operators. Some of them do have the 2 times, and majority of them do have the 1.5 times. But yeah, so most ops have lost the ACOG, but yada yada yada. But now this next segment is pretty much going to be me going through all of the operators and which sites they have. I do make a few mistakes in it though. I think I said Rook doesn't have a 2 times, but so Rook does have the 2 times scope and Doc only has 1.5 times. So keep that in mind when you watch this part of the video. But now we are going to take a look at all of the sites within Operation Shadow Legacy and which operators have them. So with Sledge, you are going to be able to get the new holographic site, 1.5 times and a 2.5 times. I will only be doing the main weapons of the operators. I will also include the variant, but just not the ones no one uses. With the AR-33, you are going to get the new red dot sight, the 2.5 times, and the 1.5 times on the AR-33. Either for the L8, A52, I think I said that right, the new red dot, and 2 times. So no more ACOG on that weapon. Moving on, Ash. There have been no changes, I believe, to the R4C. The highest she's going to get is the holographic size. So a slight Ash nerf, an indirect Ash nerf. However, you are going to have the 1.5 times on the G360, which, yes, they've removed the ACOG. So I guess another Ash nerf. So just an indirect Ash nerf. Thermite, you are going to get the ACOG and the 2 times. Twitch FAMAS, the highest you can go is 1.5 times. Montaigne, pistol and a shield. Glaz does not get anything new, just a 3 standard sights and obviously your Glaz scope. Fuse, Glad, wait, what am I? Fuse, I can't talk. LMG, you are going to get the 2.5 times ACOG and the 1.5 times. There is no Russian variant to the 1.5 times, you are literally just going to get what everyone else has. The AK-12, you are going to have a lot of variants. So you got the 2 times and the 2.5 times and the Russian scopes as well. So he has a lot to choose from. Blitz is a shield and pistol, nothing has changed. As of for the Commando on IQ, the highest you can get is the 1.5 times. IQ LMG, the highest you can get is the holographic. So the ACOG has been removed from IQ G8. As for the AUG, the highest you can get is the ACOG. So maybe the AUG will come in play rather than the other 2 weapons. With Buck, there is now the 1.5 times on his assault rifle. That's the highest you are going to get. Blackbeard, the highest you are going to get on his assault rifle is the 1.5 times. Like I said, I'm just going to be going through the main weapons so we can speedily get through this. 1.5 times on Capital's AR and the new red dot. His LMG, however, has a lot to choose from. 1.5 times, 2 times, and an ACOG. So you are going to have like I said, a lot to choose from. Oh, Capital also has a hard breach device. Habana loses her ACOG. She now has the 1.5 times, not even the 2 times, a 1.5. So a lot of the attackers and defenders, like literally every single operator has been nerfed in terms of their loadout. Most operators have lost the ACOG. Jackal is going to get the 2 times, but nothing else. Let's take a look at his PDW actually. Yeah, 1.5 times on the PDW, which I'd expect. So you're going to want to use the assault rifle there. With Ying, I'm pretty sure she still has everything. 2.5, 2 times and 1.5 times on her LMG. Zofia, she is going to have only the 2 times and nothing else in between. That could be, she has a DMR, so she's going to have the 3 times scope, but she will have nothing in between. The Boss G, yes, Boss G still has the ACOG and nothing else in between. Quickly, I'd mention that. A Lion, he has the ACOG and the 2 times available on his LMG. Finker has the 2 times on her spear, and as for her LMG, she has ACOG and the 1.5 times. Maverick has the 1.5 times, but nothing else in between or above. Nomad, she has the 2 times scope and nothing in between. Oh, let's take a look at her ARX actually, because that does get used quite a bit. The ARX, however, does have the ACOG, so you might want to choose the ARX over the AK. Gridlock, she has the ACOG and 2 times on the F90. LMG, she is going to have ACOG and everything in between. Knock is going to have the 1.5 times. So a knock buff. Amaru is going to have the 2 times and 2.5 times. So just notice how they can really buff and nerf attackers now, and defenders of course. IQ, like same weapon, but IQ only has holo, whereas Amaru has 2 times and ACOG. so they really can balance the operators now more easily. Yana, she has the 2 times on her thing, G360. Like I said, Yana has 2 times and Ash only has the 1.5 times. ACOG and 1.5 times on the ARX for Yana. Ace has the 2 times and nothing else in between. Zero has the 2 times and 1.5 times the new red dot and new holographic sight. And as for the MP7, he has the 1.5 times. And that is the attackers. Now defenders, he has the 1.5 times on the FMG, but you're not really going to use that. SMG still has holographic as the highest choice. Mute has 1.5 times on his MP5K, but obviously you're going to want to run the shotgun, or depending how you play. Castle has the 1.5 times on his UMP. However, Pulse does not. Pulse has holographic. Doc, rest in peace Doc, he has the 1.5 times, does not have ACOG or 2 times, and nothing else in between. The P90 also has the 1.5 times as the highest option. Rook is the exact same, 1.5 times on both MP5 and P90. Capcan, 1.5 times on his SMG. Tachanka is also the same, 1.5 times on his SMG. Jaeger is only going to have holographic. He does have the new red dot sight, however. Let's check Bandit. Bandit has the old red dot sight, but the highest is the holographic. Frost, she has the 1.5 times on her SMG. Valkyrie has holographic as her highest. Kavera has holographic as her highest on the SMG at least. Echo now has 1.5 times as the highest on Echo. Mirror is going to come equipped with the 1.5 times on her Vector. Elysian also comes equipped with the 1.5 times on his SMG. You can see here how they're really balancing the ops. So the stronger defenders will have the worst sides basically. Ella has Holo. Vigil also has Holo as his highest. So Vigil, Jaeger, Bandit all have Holo as well as Ash. Maestro, this is interesting. His highest is also Holo. Not even a 1.5 times at the very least. Alibi also only has a Holo. Clash is a shield, and Pistol still has the same thing. Now this is big. Kaid has 1.5 times on the AUG and the new red dot sight, but the 1.5 times on the AUG, and the shotgun got a nerf since it now has 2 times and no longer has the ACOG. However, I seem to prefer the 2 times over the ACOG anyway. Mozzie is still the same, holographic on the Commando and holographic on the P10. Warden has the 1.5 times on the MPX, however Valkyrie doesn't, so like I said, you can see how they're balancing the operators. Goyo doesn't have 1.5 times on his Vector, however Mirror does. That's weird. Also 2 times on the shotgun. Wamai will only have holographic on the org, however he will have the 1.5 times on the MP5K. So I might have to start running the MP5K now on Wamai next season. Oryx, this is interesting, also only has the holographic, but Doc has the 1.5 times. I mean, I guess he's slower, but still weird. Melusi has only the holographic side, but Lesion has 1.5 times, so you can see how it varies. And yeah, that's pretty much all the attackers and the defenders. So like I said, some of this stuff is subject to change. These might not be all the changes within Rainbow Six Siege, but you get an idea of some of the things to expect. And I hope you enjoyed today's video, and much love. I'll see you in the next video. I have a zero attacker video, optic settings video, and much more, the new chalet and everything. So, and yeah, goodbye.